It is that time, guys. We're going to break down Palantir stock, do an update on the charts, my thoughts, how the stock's doing right now as we're about, an hour, less than an hour away from close. And by the way, the market closed today at 1 p.m. East Coast time for those that didn't know, right? So we're going to break down everything that you need to know. Insider selling going on right now with this stock, and we'll break down the indexes, maybe some other stocks later in the video. But first, come on, hit the like button, subscribe. Feel free to join my Patreon for my portfolio updates and check out my email stock newsletter, which is free. All those links are down below. And with that being said, guys, cheers. Let's dive into it. So check it out. It's about 12:15 p.m. on the East Coast when I'm making this video. And again, the market closes today early because, it's the day before July 4th. And tomorrow, the market's closed. So we're going to have a long weekend here. And as of right now, indexes are up. S&P's up 0.9%. Same with the Russell and the Dow for that matter, as QQQ's up over 1% and Palantir's up 1.5%. We're building off of where we were yesterday, and the stock's now trading at $134 a share. And if I pull up this 5-day, 5-minute, it hasn't necessarily been the best week for Palantir stock, and honestly, it hasn't been the worst either by any means. I mean, look, we opened up the week at about $136 a share. Dumped down to 128 on Tuesday. We retested that point on Wednesday, yesterday morning, right? We held 128, 128.50, which is good. Now we're building off of that point, and we're pretty much right back to where we were on Monday, right? A little under where we were Monday, but we're almost there pretty much. Monday we held the mid 130s pretty much all day, 135, 136. And, now we're at 134. And earlier today, we hit 135.50. So we recovered a lot of the loss from Tuesday, which is good. And again, we're building off of the gains, the slight gains from yesterday. And really, what that leads me to is this. This is simply a consolidation week, in my opinion. You guys can see Palantir on the 1-hour chart, just how steady we've held 130, 135 this week, which also was support back in June. In the beginning, middle of June, that's where Palantir held. So the fact that, and by the way, on the 4-hour chart, you're noticing it here, we're holding the 180 SMA. The fact that we're holding the 130s, low, mid 130s, that's a great sign overall for the bulls, that the uptrend's continuing. And this is a good sign for the swing traders out there that maybe bought the dip, yesterday, maybe 2 days ago in the high 120s, low 130s. Maybe you bought the dip. This is looking good for you, right? It's looking good for you, and we're not fully breaking out yet, but we are confirming a bounce above the 180 SMA, and now we're, a couple dollars away from the 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart, which is at 137, 138. If that's able to break here, guys, again, that's going to be the perfect outcome for the swing traders out there. So I'm going to set my alert at 137, and that's going to be the breakout spot. If we take out that 50 SMA at that point, we could be going a lot higher, 145, 150. That's where this could be pushing. But as of now, man, we're up 2%, little under it, and we're bouncing off the 180 SMA. Now we're just waiting for the confirmation of a full-on breakout, which something's telling me we're not going to get that today. Again, it's 12:15. We only have 45 minutes left of trading, and the market's closed tomorrow, so we might have to wait until next week. And with this environment we're in now, with everything going on, a long weekend might I don't know. You never know what's going to happen over the weekend. It might not be the best for stocks, but I don't know. We've gotten some good news lately, so let's see if that good news gravy train continues over the weekend. But you just never know, which is why, especially when you're trading, It's risky to hold over the weekend, especially if it's a short-term trade, a very short-term trade, especially in this environment because, again, you don't know what's going to come out over the weekend. You know, we have Friday off, Saturday off, Sunday off. We have, half a Thursday off, which is today. So you don't know what's going to happen that could influence the market over the next 3-4 days. But it's going to be interesting. That's for sure. And, that's the breakdown overall, kind of how we're looking right now on PLTR. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And by the way, hit that subscribe button. I think 50% of you watch the content, but you're not subscribing. If that's you, hit that subscribe button. Help your boy out. I appreciate you all for tuning in. As always, now let me break down these indexes quickly, maybe some other stocks. So did the S&P hit an all-time high today? It sure did, guys. It sure did. 626.08. And I mean, on a side note here, Palantir is looking good on the dip, but these indexes, man, are getting a bit overbought. They're getting a bit overbought. SPY just hit another all-time high. We're getting even more extended on the RSI on the 4-hour chart. And it's the same thing on QQQ, right? The Dow and the Russell, they're lagging a bit. We all know that. But QQQ and SPY, they're getting very hot here, man, which leads me to believe if anything comes out over the weekend that's slightly negative, this could trigger a short-term sell-off, maybe Monday, Tuesday, because the reality is we haven't had a big red day in a good week and a half, 2 weeks. We've been on a killer green stretch. We're gonna be due. We're gonna be due for a pullback, and that's another reason why I'm holding on. I'm not sure if you guys saw my videos earlier, but I'm holding on to some puts right now. I'm holding on to Nike puts, and I'm holding on to SoFi puts because those two stocks in particular I think are pretty overbought in the short term. We've covered that in many videos. Nike, SoFi, I think they're overbought. And by the way, I'm long SoFi. I'm bullish. It's more of a hedge on SoFi. And I'm not long Nike. I'm not going to buy the stock at any time soon. I'm not planning on it. I just think it's too hot after earnings, Nike, and I want to make money on the drop here. It just hasn't happened yet. But I'm holding on tight because, again, they're overbought. But at the same time, we're pretty hot in the overall stock market, which if we get a big drop in SPY in QQQ, not even a big drop, but if we get a pullback, whether it's next week, right, in the beginning of the week, later, midweek, whatever, that's going to bring down SoFi and Nike as well. I do think SPY is due for a drawdown, maybe a couple dollars, maybe a couple percentage points, and that's going to help out, my put options, and just in general, it's a healthy thing for stocks to pull back. It's been on a tear recently, which we need some healthy a little healthy correction, whatever you want to call it, right? So with that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe. Join the Patreon for my portfolio updates. And if you guys want to join the email stock newsletter where I send out my top stocks weekly via email for free, that's linked down below. All the links are down below, guys. And with that being said, cheers. I'll catch you in the next video.